Things guys do that will instantly make her fall for you. Hi, hello, it's Ann. Ladies, let me know. Guys, pay attention. Let's go. 1, if we see you with like your little sibling or a little cousin, niece, nephew, whatever, and you're taking care of them, instant turn on. 2, it's when you tell us, hey, text me when you get home, and then they text you to make sure that you actually got home safely. And 3, it's when you notice the smallest details. Like you see her and you notice that she got her hair done, or her nails are done. So you compliment her. You're like, yo, I really like your hair, or I really like your nails. We are going to be shocked because it's like, you noticed.
If you want to make a girl like you, then this video is for you. Here are the best Snapchats that you can send that girls will love to receive. Number 1, we are going to start off with something a little spicy. You can send a girl a Snapchat with you leaning over. For example, at an angle like this or something. I'm sure you guys will do it much better. Nothing is more wild than a girl's imagination. So she will definitely like this Snapchat. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Alright, number 2. I know you might think that you look ugly all sweaty after your sports practice. Oh, but you are so wrong. There is nothing a girl loves more than receiving a Snapchat right after you get out of your practice. Also, there's something cute about it because we're thinking, we're the first thing after practice that he thought about.
Here are 3 psychological tips you can use to get a girl to fall in love with you. Hey, I'm Christina, and this is what my psychology classes at Yale taught me about attraction. This one is for the boys. Number 1, the Pete Davidson effect. Okay, my boys, we all know Emrata is your dream girl. So take a look at the guys she's dating. What's the common thread? Oh yeah, they're all ugly and on SNL. Exhibit A, Pete Davidson. This effect explains how ugly men are winning, and they're winning because they're not ugly inside and can make a girl laugh. Guys, if you take anything out of this video, it has to be this tip. This is the most important effect. From day 1, make sure you can crack the code on how to make your girl laugh. Look at the memes she's liking, the jokes she's cracking herself, and even the other guys she finds attractive, and adjust accordingly. Number 3, the oh, I remembered effect. Now this is definitely simple, but very effective. Homies, just remember the shit she tells you, the songs she sends you, and the ambitions that she has. And when she's having a shitty day, remember that on shitty days, she loves that one mocha from that one coffee shop that you always pass by when you leave class. My ex would neglect to do this, and look at his role in my life now. Oh yeah, non-existent. It really is that simple.
A woman will never fall in love with you unless you can make her feel these 3 things: special, sexy, and safe. Let's dig in. You need to make her feel special. She needs to feel like she's the only woman in the world when she's with you. Sexy. She needs to feel like she's desirable to you. She needs to feel like you really want her. And safe. Now, when we're talking about safe, we don't just mean physically safe, even though that is extremely important. She needs to know that she can trust you to not harm her in any way. But we also mean emotionally safe. She needs to feel like you're not going to judge her, you're not going to betray her, that she can share with you anything, and that you're going to accept her for just the way that she is.
So do you gents want to know psychological tricks to make any woman fall for you? Well, you came to the right place. This is Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss dating, style, and personal development. So if you're into becoming a better version of yourself, definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up and hit that notification bell. We release new videos daily at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So for today's topic, we're going over 6 psychological tricks to make any woman fall for you. So for trick number 1, that is going to be piercing eye contact. So they say that the eyes are like the windows to the soul. And really, I find eye contact to be very effective when it comes to dating and courting women. Really, it'll tell you everything that you need to know about their attraction towards you. And to illustrate this, I have a quick example. There was one day I was out and I was running some errands, and I went to go grab a smoothie by a food cart. But when I got there and I was in line, this one woman was a little further down the street, but I saw her just staring me down. So, at that point, I kind of held the eye contact with her, shot her a smile. She kind of blushed and then looked away, but then looked back at me a few seconds later. So at that point, when she did that, I just waved her over like this, and she ended up coming right over, and we ended up having a conversation right then and there. And then I got her information. So really, it is that easy when all the signs are there. So eye contact is huge. It's one of the first things that women see, and one of the first ways that you're able to get that attraction or that connection kind of started. So I would highly encourage you gents to be incorporating strong eye contact into your dating. So moving on for trick number 2 for the psychological tricks to get any woman to fall for you, that is going to be to get her pursuing you as quickly as possible. So you guys might be saying, oh, Prince, like, how do I do that? Well, one of the easiest ways to get that kind of going is to give the woman your number once you meet her. So you do the approaching, of course. When you do approach her, you offer her your number. That way, if she's interested, she will reach out to you, and that means that you don't have to spend any time really thinking about it or, pondering anything or thinking, hey, when should I text her or any of that stuff. This puts the ball in her court, so she'll reach out to you if she's actually interested. And additionally, this gets her in the habit of starting to pursue you, which is what you want ultimately anyway, because in the initial stages of dating where you guys are new and you just met the woman, you can, give out your number and, she can reach out to you, and then from there you can reach out once a week, kind of setting dates and going on dates together. But eventually the goal is to have her reach out to you, and eventually it'll get to the point where you guys are building rapport with one another, and she'll feel more comfortable to reach out to you as you're hanging out and going on dates once a week. That's what you want. You want her to start pursuing you as quickly as possible. And if your game is tight, I've had cases where I've given my number out to women and they've done 100% of the pursuing. So I gave them my number, and then from there they reached out and initiated us talking for the entire, let's say, like first year, or whatever the case may be. But they did the vast majority of the pursuing, and that's what you want. You want her to be the one reaching out to you, because then it makes it easy too. Just from a dating perspective, you don't really have to worry about much when she reaches out. 9 times out of 10, that means that she wants to see you. So at that point, you can just plan a date and an opportunity for you guys to hang out. For trick number 3, that is going to be mysterious and unpredictable. So some ways to help you guys be more mysterious and, not so boring and predictable. That's going to be to switch up the date location and the date style. So don't always go to a restaurant, switch it up. Definitely switch up the location. Don't get into, certain boring habits or certain boring patterns where you're going to the same place all the time. Definitely don't want to do that. Switch up the date, place, the location, the date time, so you're not always going, at the same exact time. Switch up the time in which you text and the mode of, communication. So, if you text, maybe next time you do a FaceTime call, or, when you do meet up, instead of going to a restaurant, maybe you guys go to an arcade or, a bowling alley or miniature golf or whatever the case may be, but you're switching it up that way that she doesn't know what to expect. Also the frequency. So instead of, 1 date per week, maybe you do 2 or 3 one week and then skip the next week. And, it just gives a level of unpredictability. They don't know what to expect. But what they do know is that when they're with you, they'll have a good time. So that's what you want. You want them to have good feelings about being around you, but you want them to kind of be wondering, okay, what does he have up his sleeve? Like every time I'm with them, it's always something new. It's always something exciting. It's always something different. So that's what you're looking for here. And that is the idea. You want to be mysterious and unpredictable. For trick number 4, for the psychological tricks to be able to pull any woman, that is going to be to not be afraid to pull back. This is especially important if you're, someone that's been hanging out a lot with a particular woman, and you guys have been spending a ton of time together. But there are going to be times, especially with women, when you spend a lot of time with them, they're going to want to pull back and take some time away for them to regain that same level of attraction. So often it's more advantageous for you to do it first, particularly if it's still early on in the dating stages. So, if your goal is to aim for her to fall for you, if you do spend a good amount of time with her, just take a step back. Maybe you don't hang out at all for an entire week. In terms of communication, maybe you become more aloof. Maybe you don't, reach out and, kind of let her do the reaching out. But if she's the one pulling back from you, the idea is to not chase her. So when she pulls back, you play it cool, you remain solid, don't stress it, just kind of relax. And when she pulls back, let her do her thing. She will come back to you, particularly if, there was no reason for her pulling back. If she still has that high attraction for you, she will come back eventually. So you just have to give her time and space to do exactly this. But in terms of pulling back, also this applies to body language as well. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, subscribe to join the Gentlemen and Scholars family. And consider checking out the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for free resources, Gentlemen and Scholars merch, book recommendations, consultation services, and our free Gentlemen and Scholars Ultimate Handbook, where you'll learn personal development tips on how to build a successful life and become the gentleman of your dreams, style tips to develop an eye-catching, attractive, and unique personal avatar, and dating tips to attract, court, and keep the woman of your dreams. Visit the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for more. Now back to the video. So if you have been, doing a lot of touching and, have been touching and feeling on her, and, maybe she moves away, or let's say you two were holding hands and then she removes her hand. Don't go and try and grab the hand again. Don't go and try and force touching that's going to be really unattractive to the woman. The idea is to give her the space that she needs to feel comfortable, to be able to move around, to be able to do her thing. Women are very unpredictable in nature. Their emotions are constantly changing and they're stimulated by different stimuli, so they'll want to go and do different things. So just give them the space to do that, and they'll eventually come back if they are in fact interested and attracted. So number 5 on the list for the psychological tricks to get any woman to fall for you, that is going to be to use silence as a tool. So here's the thing, gents. Silence accompanied with strong eye contact can be a powerful tool. So, don't always feel the need to fill the space with words. Sometimes having strong eye contact and using silence can be advantageous for building that sexual tension, particularly if she's looking you deep in the eyes and you guys have been vibing and you can see she's smiling, maybe a little giddy, and then you're using silence and eye contact. That can be huge for kind of getting her to fall for you. So this is something that you gents are going to want to be integrating. For me, sometimes I might say something outrageous and then just hold strong eye contact with her, and this usually gets her to blush or chuckle a little bit, but it definitely does wonders to build that attraction. So number 6 on the list for the psychological tricks to get any woman to fall for you, that is going to be to get really good at reading women's level of attraction towards you. So being able to gauge women's interest is going to be super advantageous for you gents, because this is going to give you insight into what the proper steps are to take, what the proper moves are that you should be making. So, if you're unclear on this and you're just kind of spitballing it, you're gonna have a way harder time at keeping, her attracted, and also being just consistent in terms of, keeping her attraction high. So you're gonna wanna get keen on this at the outset, because it just makes everything just so much easier. So in terms of, ways in which you can recognize and be keen on the attraction, if she's reaching out constantly to you, this is indicative of high interest. So if she's reaching out, essentially chasing you, you don't have to worry about potential guys maybe going after her, or her being interested in other guys because she's actively reaching out to you. She's pursuing you, so more than likely she's not going to be even bothering with those guys. So, I see a lot of guys mess up because, they might get a little jealous or whatever the case may be. But on the other hand, let's say that you say something that might be considered a little stupid and, she gets quiet all of a sudden and she gets a little distant. She's not really engaging in the conversation. She maybe gives you one-word answers, So in this moment, you may have turned her off a bit, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to, keep engaging with her or keep trying to force the conversation to continue or turn it into anything big. The idea is, to engage with her when she is engaging with you. She's meeting you halfway. But if she's not trying to converse with you in that moment, then you don't have to have that conversation. I would just leave her alone, just give her some time, and she'll eventually come back to you. So the idea is to not to chase and to not overstep or, try and force anything. You want her to meet you halfway at all times. And this is going to do wonders in terms of the attraction. Really allow her to fall for you. That's what you want. You want somebody that's going to meet you halfway, that's going to put in the effort, and you always want to be cognizant of the effort that she's making and also where she's at in terms of her level of attraction towards you. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you do have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout. Definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. That is extremely important. Before I forget, you're gonna wanna check out the Gentlemen and Scholars Ultimate Handbook. Yes, that is for free on the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website. So, this goes over dating, style, personal development tips to 10x your personal growth. So if you're struggling in any areas as it relates to dating, I highly encourage you to check that out. It goes over, approaching, it goes over the entire courtship, it goes over keeping things steady and kind of keeping her engaged. And also goes over some of the mindset blockers that a lot of you gents may be dealing with. Some of those things that are kind of preventing you from making true progress. Maybe it has to do with self-esteem. Maybe it has to do with some things in your past, maybe some things in your childhood. We go over a lot of these mindset blockers in the handbook. So I'd highly encourage you to get that and check that out. You can get that for free on the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website. That is gentlemenandscholarsclub.com. And you can also buy the hardcover copy as well. All available on the Gentlemen and Scholars Club.com or Gentlemen and Scholars Club website. Anyway, with that, I think we about wrap this one up. So until next time, Gentlemen and Scholars. Hey gents, hope you enjoyed the video. And check out the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for our free Gentlemen and Scholars Ultimate Handbook, free resources, book recommendations, consultation services, and some pretty slick Gentlemen and Scholars merch. GNS hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, notebooks, and so much more. Until next time, Gentlemen and Scholars. Hey gents, if you enjoyed this video, check out some bespoke video recommendations here and here. And subscribe to join the Gentlemen and Scholars Club.